Right, hello there, lovely viewers, to the stream the second time this week. This time I am once again hosting Garden of Chaos tournaments with my friend Janet here, also on the
Hello.
microphone.
Hello, sorry for interrupting there.
No problem, it's always hard when you're doing this online.
Yeah, I mean, hard enough in real time.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do commentary with someone actually sat next to me, because I feel like it would be a lot easier.
That would be
But,
awesome.
yeah, you see it a lot actually. I'm going to go massive aside onto commentary. Anyway, this is Garden of Chaos number 8, if I'm not very much mistaken.
You are not mistaken, there was one between 7 and 8, but this is 8.
Right, let's see if I can put this on the screen. It's worked! Right, excellent. This will be a little bit hard to read though, but I'll zoom in as big as I can make it. So this tonight is You Are What You Beat. Which is a single battle, best of 3, no counter pick, and you have to play a random character. But if you win, you change to your opponent's character and colour, presumably only if you own that colour, because we might have run a cropper on that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Or costume, even.
This was come up with before the update. I didn't even consider that possibility.
Well, you have to get as close as you can. Let's put it that way. To
Yeah.
your opponent's character you beat, and then you have to play again. And I presume they stay the same. So, or do they swap to what? I don't know how that. Or do they random again?
They randomise each time.
Okay.
So if you lose, you get given another chance to get a character you like. If it's a character you like, well, too bad, you just won. You're now your opponent's character.
Right.
So
Yeah. So you kind of only get one chance to win with each character in a way. It's just a little bit like the rank format. Anyway, the point of just telling you all this is, if you would like to join, and you're watching this right now and you want to join in, you are not too late to join in. So just go to gardenofchaos.xyz. I always want to say XYZ just because I don't know why Americans have corrupted me evidently. And you can click to go to the challenge link from here. Just click the sign up button up there, and that will take you off to the challenge.
Yeah.
And Janet has also kindly dropped it in the chat for us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've got it for a helpful thing there, so I don't need to completely change the web page every week.
There we go. So yeah, I could set up clever bots and things, but I'm too dumb to do that. So I'm glad you're here.
It's not exactly like we need to be heavily organised for this.
No, this is a totally fun event. There's nothing particularly on the line, as you might have guessed. You can also optionally select a crazy rule set, can't you? On top of the already slightly wacky rules, you can ask for many other wacky rules if you want to.
Yeah, like for instance, you could play with the gravity rule set, where neither player is allowed to jump, or use command grabs, because if you can't jump, they will be a bit too powerful. Or you could use the floor is lava rule set, where you're not allowed to let go of the jump button. Or anything like that. They are kind of opposites, those two.
There's some crazy rules, so if anyone's watching right now and you want to join in, get in quick, because we will be closing the bracket fairly soon. So
Yeah,
we're just giving you a chance to just jump on there. That's why we started the stream a little bit early. What was I going to say?
Oh.
No. Carry on anyway. How's the sound?
We're going to say about the skill coin prize, where one random participant will get a copy of Jackbox Party Pack 4, courtesy of Eric D. Red.
Oh, I see. Very nice.
Helpfully donated many such things. Well, like 4, I believe. Not exactly that code, but just different game codes that he was willing to let us use.
So
Very
yeah,
kindly.
that's a Steam game code, I will assume.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you enter, you could win a random game as well.
No,
Why not?
It's random each week. We know what it is this week.
Yeah, sorry, it's random who wins it, so you don't have to like think you're good or anything, and think you can. Well, I mean, if you think you're good, that's also great. But it won't help you win the skill coin, will it?
Yeah, if you think about it, all the better, because the whole point of this is maximum chaos. If you don't know how to play the character, that's even more chaos.
Yes. This is all a bit of a chill one. So cool,
Anyway,
right?
It is time to close up the bracket and get started, I should think.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
However you want to play it, Janet. It's your tournament.
So we shall have 5 rounds, so that would be 15 matches total. but we won't be watching all of them. We want to go for about 10 matches we watch, so there'll be one match every round that we don't watch.
Right. Unfortunately, though, because I've entered, you're gonna have to watch me every round.
Okay, so there's a slight bias to the rounds that Jeremy happens to be in.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure how you were gonna do the streaming, and I didn't think of that one. I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. It's fine.
So it's although I did quite like I did tweet it out, the lovely graphic that did Daniel make the graphic?
Daniel made the graphic.
Yeah, Daniel Stratolch, if you don't know him, he's the normal host of this tournament. I'm just his backup, the backup for Daniel when he's not available. But yeah, he's done.
You're not just a backup. You're also
just a
proper
backup.
co-streamer and commentator.
I like everyone likes the backup more than the starter in American football, so that's it's a silly thing. I'm just joking on. Don't worry about it. So yes, I'm happy being the backup. It's always good for me to be a backup, so don't worry about that. But yeah, no. What was this? Yeah, sorry. Daniel did the nice graphic anyway, but he did actually typo my name as Remil. So if you do want to call me Remil, I'm absolutely happy with that. I quite like that, to be honest. So
it's a good name.
It's a good name. Anyone who knows, there's a character called Milen, and you've kind of blended Remy with Milen, which is kind of cool. From my favourite anime. So, and I used to be known as Remy Vassara, which was also a character from the same anime. So there you go. It was a weird harken back to one of my previous online nicknames as well, which I had to change because thanks Microsoft for being incompetent. But that's a long story of Xbox gamer tags that we won't get into. Anyway, I've rattled on enough. I'd better get playing Mozzarella. If that's correct.
I mean, that's second on stream.
Okay.
So first we'll be watching Phoebe versus Mr. X.
Right, I'm watching Phoebe.
I am going to try to get them their character selectors.
If we get any problems, I am going to attempt to share my screen.
Oh god, did I actually fix this?
As well.
Yes, I did. Cool.
Alright, let's see how that goes. Hopefully, you've got 2 ways to watch now.
Oh, nice. That should be a lot easier on the other person and on my computer if I watch through this.
Yeah, if you want to. I don't know about the quality and I don't know how the sound's going to work because this is
quality's fine.
So I didn't put it in the highest because I don't
I
have.
play in 540p.
Wow, really?
I'm on a laptop.
I'm on a laptop, but mine's a very nice laptop. To be fair.
Oh, mine's a decent laptop. I'm a few years old, but I play in that quality because otherwise, surprisingly, it's not Quince who's a problem. It's Jaina's supers.
Oh, yeah, they do sometimes cause a bit of things. I've heard people complaining about Quince on the PS4 as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, as far as I know, he's just bugged right now, mysteriously. It should be fixed soon. They're releasing a patch for it at some point.
Yeah. Safety Man just gave us a host, so thank you very much to Safety Man from the Toronto Top Tiers 2, and Toronto Top Tiers 2 just gave us a host as well.
Oh, thank you, Safety Man. That's a good point. There is an issue if you try to spectate someone who's in a menu, so we should be aware of that.
Oh,
if you spectate them when they're in character select, it can crash.
Right, so I should get out now.
Yes. Spectate them once they're in round 1.
Okay.
Oh, I need to go back to that Discord.
And it was...
Are you spectating Phoebe or Mr. X? One of the two? Either?
Right, well, Mr. X is there, so I'll do that. I'll do Mr. X.
Okay.
But I have to wait till the... Oh, it says they're playing. I don't know if that means...
I think it's if it says they're in a friend match, it's fine. But I don't think they're playing right now because they've just done their character pick.
Oh, I'm getting issues now, unfortunately. Rats.
Okay, Safety Man just told us the way to do it. Thank you, Safety Man.
Oh, okay.
Just
Well,
for
unfortunately, I
teaching
am
us-
not getting anything right now. Sorry.
For teaching us the things you taught us, you learnt last night
Right, okay.
in a much more not official, professional tournament.
I don't do professional, Janet, so it's
Nor do
okay.
I.
Right, I will get back in shortly. Don't worry, guys. They're happily playing, hopefully. And we will join them in a moment. Oh no, it says Phoebe in
Okay,
menus.
yes. Phoebe just got disconnected.
I
Yeah,
think
so
that I
don't-
think
don't
I blew
stop
it up.
right now.
Fortunately, I thought that might be what was happening. Thank you very much, Safety Man, for the tips. Anyway, and anyone who is watching, how is the audio doing? Are you able to hear both me and Janet? Okay. Hopefully it is.
Yeah, hopefully it's working fine.
I'm also trying to figure out if there's any clever way I can play. Thank you, Mozzarella. Hopefully you figure out any way I can play whilst you don't have to watch me. I mean,
I
certainly-
think it's fine that we just spectate you when you do. Every time. Makes things easier for us anyway.
it does a bit, yeah.
And means we don't get spectator issues.
That's true. Yeah, you'll be guaranteed to be able to watch all of my games, okay?
Okay, they're headed in.
They keep moving around the menus. It drives me nuts. That does. Playing
It
a
says
friend.
playing a friend online. Yes,
There
we
we
can
go.
watch.
Alright, I apologise. I went into Phoebe, forgetting what I was doing, but hopefully it'll all be okay.
It's the same match.
So I take it you rolled up their characters for them.
I actually gave them a thing to do it for them. I'm taking it on trust they will use the tool properly and just press the
Fair
randomize button rather than anything else. Oh, apparently they got a desync.
Oh
dear.
no.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't crash since we're
Okay,
already
I'm in.
spectating.
Unfortunately, they are.
We're already spectating. Hopefully that's fine. It looks like it was fine.
Fingers crossed, stream, that we won't blow things up.
Yeah. Okay, so we're seeing Geiger versus Onamari.
Round
Mr. X
I
and
am
Geiger
saying
versus
Geiger
Speedy
versus
Onamari.
yeah.
Apparently they've desynced again. But
Wow,
according
so-
to Mr. X, but we're watching a match. What? This looks like a perfectly ordinary match.
Does.
Where Phoebe has managed to get straight into the perfect Onamari spacing, but Mr. X managed to dodge that, but got caught out with the 2-hit.
Round 2. Fight. Counter.
Okay. Oh, good poke to start with. Make sure Onamari is at max distance. Phoebe having to get a long way in now, successfully using B to get the spinny twirly thing to get through the time spiral, which is based on when I tried to play this matchup, I had lots of trouble with that. It's difficult to time it. But okay, Mr. X has got out, has the full screen to work with now. The throw stopped the cross up, completely blocked all of those bumps they're called, the jump A button that Onamaru can do. Phoebe going
Yeah,
for lots
I
of
like
counters for it.
I'd say I like how Mr. X is playing this, but Phoebe just seals that one.
Playing consistently enough, safely enough to
Round 3.
work all the way across the screen again for the second time and take the round. Getting past Onamaru with the ground super, but this is the updated super that is unsafe. Only takes 1 damage for it though. Seems to have recognised that time spells aren't quite working. Is it the right decision to not use them? I don't know.
Yeah, I have a lot of problems against Onimaru in general, so I'm hoping my opponents don't roll him up because I don't really know what I'm doing against either Onimaru or Quince. And the
Yeah.
top tip to beat me right now is to play either of them because they're literally the only characters that have beaten me for days.
With guard break, tried to reversal the back A and timed it right, but of course it's a sword. The sword is not made of Onamaru's flesh. That would be horrifying. So it didn't hurt. Okay. But yeah, the general rule of thumb I use for both Onimaru and Quince is to jump a lot.
Double
Oh, trade! But because it was a double KO and Phoebe was at game point, it didn't work cleanly. Only Mr. X got a point.
Yeah, no, that's a very good way of getting your getting around.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good use of the
Obviously-
jump super.
People sometimes cry about that in Fantasy Strike, but I really
Well, you
like
have
it,
to
and you can
understand-
totally use it once you understand how the round mechanics work on a tie.
Yeah, all you need to know is you need to win decisively. You can't win based on, I suppose you won the dead technically. You have to actually have help at the end of the last round.
KO.
Oh, good punish with the ground super there. I recognise that. Maybe might have been a risk to punish with anything else, so the instant super worked. Oh, I guess they rolled a oh, because
Phoebe won,
yeah,
so Phoebe has to play Geiger.
true. So,
So
Mr. X
Phoebe's
has re-rolled.
selected Geiger in black correctly.
Okay. And oh, I actually got off the stream. Discord's control
Mr.
is very
X,
confusing.
Brave.
yeah, I was saying in the stream chat, Mr. X was saying it was brave, but here we go. Okay, 1 minute. I'll be back in just a sec on the mic.
Round
Okay.
1.
I will commentate in the meanwhile. Okay, so now it is Grave versus Phoebe's Geiger. We'll see if there is an easier time against the Geiger than against the Onimaru. Phoebe very effective at technically getting in as Onimaru, but has taken a bit of damage and has been put into the corner and comboed into with the super. A very effective thing. Mozzarella, if you have a 12-sided die, yes, you can use that. That is perfectly in the spirit of things.
Counter.
Any random thing to come up with a character that's fair will work fine. Okay, so both at 1 health, unsafe super from Mr. X, calling out something that never came, got punished for the 1 damage needed. Phoebe will take the round. Phoebe staying, using lots of neutral jumps here to dodge things that are threatened, using the super to get in and get the 1 hit of damage. It used to be 2 hits of damage. I think it's a big improvement to 1 instead, because that was a pain to deal with and not fun for either side really. Okay, this time the call out was successful. The
Yeah.
combo didn't work out for Phoebe. Instead, the neutral lane whiffed and, or at least wasn't a true combo. I was thinking, what's the word for block string that when you're hitting this combo? And oh, getting that 1 last bit of damage needed.
KO.
Very good at using that super effectively.
Yeah, it's still very, very useful tool for Geiger in a lot of matchups.
It's just less cruel now.
Yeah, I think against other zoners it feels really good now. I'm not. There's been a bit of debate I saw on, I think it was Steam actually,
Counter.
the forums about whether it should have another option to not do an attack.
Phoebe's just being a wall right now. But yeah, when it was multiple options, it was still usually the same option of neutral lane into flash gear.
Round.
Whereas now it's just flash gear, which means, oh, you're brought up with a different thing. Okay, so whereas now instead what it is it's less spacing dependent because flash gear has more range than neutral lane. And it's only 1 damage, so it's not quite so painful to deal with and painful to know it is the objectively best option at all times.
True.
Phoebe just untouchable there, it felt like.
Yeah, Phoebe, a very, very strong player. We've seen a lot of strong play from them in the past, that's for sure.
Has won multiple past tournaments. Got
Indeed.
fancy certificates on. I need to do the certificate for last week's tournament. I still haven't done that. They haven't got their hastily sketched up thing, as I just always do. It's a shame. Okay. So, next we'll be watching you.
Yeah.
Here
And
comes a new
mozzarella.
challenger. Friend match.
A delicious cheese.
Will you, so you'll be keeping up with the... Yeah. You've kept up with them. Cool.
So who
And
do
I'm-
I have to pick?
Okay, I'll do that for you since you're in the playing also comment. You'll be playing Lum.
Tiger.
It's my time.
Lum. Do I get to choose my colour?
You get to choose a colour.
Oof, there's so many good ones.
That's quite the colour choice. And any high roller ones are quite the colour choice, admittedly.
Plum.
And it randomed up my stage, by the way. That wasn't a home stage advantage pick. That was a complete high rolling on the stage rolling.
I like to think of it as an oracle of what is done. So what this is saying is it will be utter
Round one.
chaos.
I've got 200 ping now, mozzarella and I, unfortunately, a little bit distant.
It can't be helped.
So much food.
Oh,
That was cherry cake, by the way.
yeah, getting the dice out at full screen, exactly where Lum wants to be. I feel like I might be accidentally giving you some advantage by commentating you as you go, but it's a distraction as well, so...
I honestly am doing my best to ignore it. No offence, but
Completely fair, that's what I did last time I had to be commentating. Okay, so, pulling on once, but getting the Yomi counter, thus gaining complete control again, going for the roll into Yomi counter, seeing if Mozzarella would fall for it. Mozzarella didn't fall for it, didn't punish.
Just a moment.
Okay, so, if someone picks a colour that your opponent, and you don't own that colour when you win, what you do is just do the best you can. If you don't have this... Yeah, you can't do the exact one, but if you have something that looks vaguely similar, go for that. Because that was a silly part of it that was before the free-to-play update anyway.
Round 3. Fight.
Okay, so, Remy up 2 rounds, has the full screen of space, has lots of millions out, Mozzarella going for the time stop into the millions, that will be at least 2 damage, couldn't be punished for more. Due to the time spiral on its way, forcing Remy to block. Remy going for the cartwheel. The fireworks come down, but all of them miss.
ping went to 500. I couldn't see what was going on.
Ooh. Getting the dice out, Minlum does not defend from the time spiral. The time stop will hit Lum here, probably into the spiral itself, combo for 2. But, like at full screen, but the cartwheel won't be safe from the time spiral. That will be the round for Mozzarella.
Fight.
Okay. Lots of rollbacks here I'm seeing. The bomb will stop the time spiral. Still 1 dice in play. Getting lots of chip. Getting that full bit of damage, but at a cost. The cherry going to Mozzarella. The mini lamb going to Mozzarella as well.
Can't
the
time stop
Atlas
this one.
getting the dice out. Can perhaps
Can he?
time stop this one. But can't! Because it was perfectly timed so that the time stop would exactly be hit by one of the bomb explosions.
Round
A slightly
5.
later time stop and it might have been a different story, who knows? Forward A poke doesn't get damage, gets into the throw, gets into the other throw. Both of them changing sides like there's no tomorrow, or like they really want to be on the other side. Both having to block the bomb. Remy with advantage and being at full screen, dodging the time spiral. Remy going for the time stop. Will it be onto the minigun? Yes, it will. Fails to punish the dice, takes the full chip, gets counter hit with a roll.
You
So
win.
I go to fast food Geiger now.
You do, and we will see who Mozzarella has to be.
Colonel!
Yeah, I do appreciate that it's called Colonel.
Definitely. There's some of the colour naming is absolutely genius. Goth is actually officially Goth Setsuki. I have to play her now. That's it. Setsuki main.
Wonderful.
Been decided today.
Plum.
Minty Lum.
Tiger.
So we get another Geiger versus Lum. Are you sure? You sure this hasn't been rigged?
Nothing's been rigged. Nothing's been rigged. Yeah, I really do appreciate that the little bots have the hack to.
Round
The
one.
bots, the mini Lums looking exactly like Lum is a wonderful touch.
Drop here.
Mozzarella going through a roll under the tie spell, slightly messing it up. Currently playing Geiger's game, having to deal with all of the zoning, everything that can be thrown at Lum. Generally, what Lum wants to be doing is actually zoning out Geiger, I find. Geiger has to generally act almost like Rushdown. Not quite like Rushdown, but because you have to make sure you use the strength you have for you as well. But you need to be at close distance, constantly pressuring. Because the onus got shipped out. The onus is no longer on your opponent to get in. The onus is on you to stop them from throwing out items. Oh, slightly with neutral air. Looked like it would have been blocked. Okay, Mozzarella with the cherry, getting back to full health. The coin trading with the jump egg. The melon trading with the jump egg. If Mozzarella can keep this up, or will fall on that time spiral, or will be anti-edged by this, or possibly both, depends on which way around it goes. Both. Got flipped out because that's what time spirals do now. There's so much less downtime in this matchup, in all matchups with Geiger now. I love it. Just due to the fact that time spirals don't knock down, and the roll will roll straight into the time spiral. Perhaps not knowing the right distance to roll from.
Fight.
APM, the format tonight is you are what you beat. If you win a game, you have to change to your opponent's character. If you lose a game, you pick a new character. Okay, Geiger straight in, lots of throws. Lum at full screen, not running out all the items possible, gets the jackpot. I believe the jackpot will beat the time stop. Lum gets the cherry there, just about. Both mini Lums destroyed. Good item out that. Falls on the bomb. Gets correctly on the next up. Both at 2 health. Okay, Mozzarella at 1 health. Gets the roll to counter hit. Starting to build up items. And Remy will fall on the mini Lum with the jump A. Quite spacing it perfectly. And thus Mozzarella will take the round. Items going well for Mozzarella so far, but Mozzarella still getting forced back into the corner. At health disadvantage, trading with the jackpot to get just that bit of room, getting the fireworks out. Remy successfully only having to block 2 of the fireworks, not taking the full ship. Falls, jump A's onto the mini Lum.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with those mini Lums, as always.
Yeah,
Geiger, I can never figure it out with Geiger.
Generally, I see people do neutral jumps because the spacing with forward jumps is just hard to handle. As the Cycling Revolution out starts to chip out, that wouldn't have been a full ship setup. It would have been hard for Mozzarella to handle,
Fight.
and it ends up not blocking. Oh, trades between the roll and the drop here. The strong Remy counter. Just walking into Remy for a bit, then going throw.
I will admit now, I was attempting to mash flash gear and didn't have charge, so I got a Yomi.
Okay. What's about at 1 health in ship, or not in ship range flight, but lands on the time spiral. Remy will take the second round, the second game.
Win.
Okay, we're on to round 2 of the tournament after this. After seeing 2 of the same matchup there.
Yeah, I think, as I say, apparently nothing's been rigged, Steve. Thanks, Janet. But why?
Okay, so for this round, I believe first we shall watch. Okay, so we have to watch you. We can't. We are
afraid.
incapable of watching you. So it seems we will be watching the match with the 2 people we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Which are Pirate King and Icon 48 first. So spectate either of them.
Okay, I'm ready on Pirate King, but I don't want to join yet. Oh, it says already playing a friend online. Does that mean they're ready to go?
I don't know. If it says playing a friend, that means we can watch.
Oh, spectators not allowed apparently, it says on Pirate King. Not quite sure. GG's, thanks Mozzarella. Yeah, I feel like I got 2 characters I'm pretty good with there, so that was quite fortunate for me. Lum and Geiger. I mean, Geiger's one of my mains for sure, and Lum's always been my favoritist character that I don't play that off, like, don't play on my team, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it was quite a fortunate one for me. And right, sorry, Pirate King versus who?
Icon.
Oh, Icon, yes. Right. Right, well, Icon isn't playing, so Pirate King's playing someone else and blocking spectators, so that's 2 black marks against Pirate King. I think we should ban him.
That
From
is truly
all
a fair way
events.
to handle the tournament.
I think he needs to be kicked. No, I imagine he's doing some... He's also streaming, I believe, right now. So, if you really want to watch all the Pirate King's games, you can... Yes, he is streaming. Well, he said he was going live. Whether he stayed live or not, I don't know. But hopefully, if he's played his last match, we can assume that he is there.
I don't know. I can't keep up with what's happening now. So much is happening at all times in the community. I used to be able to keep up. I used to be able to run an RSS feed of what was happening.
Yeah, just by manually updating it yourself, right?
Yeah, I would just copy and paste the stuff, and then I'd realise I actually messed up the date, and I'd have to quickly edit that before anyone's RSS readers figured out that something was wrong. That happened far too often. I should not be responsible for things like that. I should have made a thing to do it for me. But yeah, luckily it is entirely just text RSS feeds. It's an XML file, which is slightly annoying to deal with, but when you've already got it set up properly with an RSS feed, you just copy and pasting.
Right, so... Huh. So in theory, this would be the bracket. So we want to see Pirate King versus Aiken. Oh, playing Fantasy Strike. Aiken is now.
We need to see playing a friend online.
Okay. So we're navigating the spectator bugs right now. I
Yeah.
imagine Agent APM had some issue with Garden of Chaos.xyz. I don't know. I didn't have any problems with it.
Yeah, oh. What's wrong with that?
I mean,
I was not aware of any issues with it. If something's wrong, I will try to sort that out, but it should be fine. It's just hosted by Get.
oh, oops.
Round
Safety man
2.
giving me a tip.
Fight.
Right, I just
Okay,
got in just in
yeah.
time.
We missed the forbidden round 1.
We did
Yes,
miss
yeah.
round 1.
The fancy master skin of Geiger that I absolutely adore versus the default skin of Rook that I also absolutely adore. The costume for this game are wonderful. Oh. And a successful... I don't know if that was technically a safe jump or not, because I wasn't watching Geiger's meter, but it was successfully blocking from a jump out. I am currently... Yeah? You're currently streaming the bracket, apparently? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And, yay, and now I can keep watching because I'm watching through you.
Clockwork.
Things are presumably happening.
Time spiral. Time spiral.
Can you, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can't. Oh, I forgot you can't. Yeah, this is a bit tricky. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I don't have a very good setup, really, for streaming, because I do it on my laptop, sat on my sofa. So I've kind of got it set up more like a console. So I get a lot of weirdness like that. And I couldn't share the application for Fantasy Strike for some reason. I had to share my screen, so that's why you're getting it like that. But yeah, Aiken in now with the Rook. And just blocks. Successful reads there. Aiken got the Rook Vortex going, and Pirate King could not escape the constant grabs. Block grabs though, he was trying his best to reversal them all, but it just wasn't happening.
Good use of flash gear to stop the landslide there. After a time spiral, of course, it would instantly stop it, but I believe even if it hadn't been time spiral, it would have hit twice and been fine. And landsliding into the time spiral.
So,
Lose.
TPK moving to default Rook then.
Yeah, sorry for when everyone's a bit quiet. That's usually I'm typing. Like I can't speak and think at the same time.
Geiger.
I can't.
It's my time.
And I need to think to type, so I can't type and speak at the same time either. Okay,
No problem.
so...
Round one.
we seem to be getting lots of
Fight.
just switch arounds, don't we?
Slide.
I still think it's been rigged.
Yeah.
Windmill crusher.
Flash gear. Yeah. Time spiral.
I promise, nothing's been rigged.
Yeah, there's Grun in the chat as well. He's promising me
Yeah.
nothing's been rigged, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure I believe you at this point, Janet, because these consistent mirror match or reverse. What would be the word for it? I'm not sure.
Just
Reverse
I'm gonna
Jeopardy
call
or
it
something
switcheroo.
like that.
I'm gonna call it a switcheroo.
Switcheroo.
Flash gear.
Consistent.
I-
Oh, bad flash gear there from Aiken. It was just out of range, and Pirate King knew he'd set it up nicely. Has Pirate King successfully baited this ground super as well? I think he has, and yeah, back into the welcoming, hugging arms of Rook, and now we're getting his mix-ups on. But this time, choosing to bait, and that gives Geiger a chance to escape. Oh, and now the shimmy is happening.
Yeah.
Both
Neither
players
one's wanting
pro
to
shimmy.
do anything. Or a good combo from jump A into forward A back.
That was a very, very nice combo. Risky to do at times because if you don't get it just right, you'll get thrown. But that was beautiful from Aiken. Aiken looking like he's a lot more familiar with the Geiger than he is with the Rook, perhaps.
Yeah, looks like it. I don't think I've played their Geiger, so I don't know. I have no idea.
No, Aiken only. I'm trying to remember which character he really likes. But he's mostly a one character specialist, so interesting. I think they're going to get a lot of interesting experience out of this tournament. Hopefully, playing lots of different
Satsuki, I
characters.
think.
Fight.
Yeah, Setsuki, you're right. Yes, I streamed Setsuki. I streamed Setsuki. Yeah, I definitely streamed a bit of Setsuki, but I also streamed Aiken playing Setsuki on Monday.
Oh,
And
nice.
he had a very good match. He did lose to Organis, but really put Organis under some difficulty already with his Setsuki. So yeah, I think
no shame on losing to Organis.
no, and I was very impressed. I put it up on YouTube earlier. If you'd like to see Aiken Setsuki up against Organis's Onimaru, I think it was.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting match actually.
But
I was saying that, but anyway, enough back to this match for now.
to giving lots of damage in and recognizing and perfectly timing that landslide to beat the what's its name, the big gear thingy that I can never. I remember the name of this Hurling. I was proud. The
Cycloid Revolution.
That's the one.
If you played Yomi, it's very easy to remember because it's one of my favourite supers in Yomi.
Oh, a very good Yomi point.
What a Yomi from TPK. That's not something you see every day.
Oh, and an excellent punish there to take the round.
You lose.
That was
Okay.
pretty impressive.
So we have now seen that match. So next we'll be seeing your match with Phoebe.
I apologise, stream, for forcing you to watch me. There's someone saying this is the first time they've seen a tournament I mean, you're technically the tournament organizer. I'm just hosting the stream, guys. So
I
this
got
isn't a
in on
TO
stream at one
playing.
point. I did a match at the end of I think Swiss format stream we did.
Yeah, good point. I did. I've entered.
A new challenger.
I've played in a few of TPKs whilst you're commentating with him as well. So I did a bunch of those.
Yeah.
But what I had to do was like turn the mic. I could turn my commentary off while I was playing with in TPK's tournament, but then I'd constantly hear him commentating on me as I was playing, and it was really annoying. So I get this now.
Oh yeah. So I need to tell you who you're playing. But But yeah. So I'll just quickly make it so I can watch again. So I had the thing minimized. You should be playing Brave.
Okay.
Geiger.
It's my time to fight.
Brave.
Who is my equal?
That was really weird that it went to my home stage again. I'm going to change it this time because I feel like people will think I'm rigging the stage select.
Yeah, I can't speak for whether things have been rigged on your side. I know things aren't rigged on mine.
Round one.
Can't speak for
Fight.
yours.
Time spiral. Drop here. Drop here.
Should be an interesting match. I know that Geiger versus Grave can be kind of weird, and I know people have trouble with both sides of this matchup because both need to use some technical things, as far as I'm aware. I haven't played Geiger properly for months. I haven't played Grave properly ever. I've played it a bit, but that's all. But very, very good, safe play from Phoebe there. Waiting for anything that can be punished and punishing accordingly. Speaking of, punishing accordingly. 1 damage, no longer the 2 it used to be, of course. This one is still 2 damage though. A good punch for any button that could have been pressed there except for block. Or for nothing, because you can start blocking in reaction to the cinematic. And a good 2 damage combo
Round
there
3. Fight.
to take the round. 1 round each. Oh, pause to dodge the charged spinny thingy. Who needs to call things by their names when you don't know their names? Just about avoids the sword and punishes, knocks Remy into the corner, has huge just general initiative right now, but has been knocked away, giving Remy a chance to get wind out, neither wanting to do anything though. Neither wanting to take that risk. Going for the neutral A, which was safe against the sword because of the time to block. 2 health for Phoebe, 1 health for Remy. If Phoebe gets a single poke in, that's the round for Phoebe. The jump super will whiff as a parry. The sword will be slightly outspaced,
Round
going for
4.
the punish.
Fight.
Drop gearing into a fireball didn't work out. Getting jumped in at, taking 3 damage for it. Most characters can do 3 damage there. It is very scary if someone jumps at you because of that. You need to take great care, and that was a good jump
Round
attack there.
5. Fight.
Okay. Trying to bait out a jump A, I assume. Drop gearing into the slow fireball. Not so big cloud. Neutral jump into throw. Into neutral A, not comboing though. And threatening chip out, forcing Phoebe to try to jump away and go for a fast fireball when that jump would happen. Landing on a time throw, getting hit by a poke. Presumably hitting what was an attempt at a Yomi, presumably expecting an empty jump into throw. Getting Remy trapped in the corner. Lots of corner pressure on both sides over the course of this match. 3 rounds each, both at game point.
Round 7. Fight.
Now Graves' jump A is powerful, but so is Geiger. Geiger's. Both of them are very powerful jump attacks.
Just a moment.
Theirs and De Graves are probably the strongest in the game. Only comparable to each other's. Oh, empty jump into throw. Both at... Okay, both down 3 health now. Phoebe trapped in the corner, but having lots of forward pressure here. Probably pause, yep. Into the 3 damage combo. Phoebe will take the first round.
Oof, that was close. Sorry, I turned the mic off so that you didn't have to hear me hear my blue language.
Geiger.
Who is my equal? Fight.
Hang
You
on.
need to be random.
Oh, sorry.
You are
Good
Rook.
point. I lost. Give me my next one.
You're Rook.
Okay.
And you are level 20 Rook, you don't get the fancy mark.
No. I have nothing. I got
Rook.
party KO though.
I think there's a tree available right now if you want to get that.
Right. Good luck, have fun, both of us.
Round 1. Fight.
Yeah. Okay. This is, of course, classically a difficult match for Rook, but I don't think it's the most difficult match for Rook. I think Geiger and Jaina are generally thought to be much worse, but I'm not certain. I am not a Rook player. But Phoebe showing it can be very difficult for Rook. And the jump super will be beaten for 1 damage, not a clean hit, by the ground super. From Grave. Sword will beat the command throw, because of course you can't be thrown at the sword. It is throw and strike invulnerable. Because of course there is the fun coincidence of almost all in striking vulnerable moves or also throwing vulnerable.
Round 2.
Unless you happen to be on a Maru. Oh, strong use of wind there. And jumping out of the super, but using the jump super at the wrong time, getting thrown for the trouble, but has managed to get away, swording to avoid being knocked down, because of course Earthquake is technically a projectile. May not look like it, but it is. It's a very low projectile that will knock you down. Oh, safe jump, into the throw, taking the round. Difficult for Rook,
3.
but as demonstrated there, very doable. Earthquake onto the cloud, because of course it doesn't delay as long as you might instinctively feel it will. I get caught out by that all the time when I try to play Rook. Landslide through the projectile, gets in, but Phoebe manages to get out again. Landslide on the knockdown, into the throw, into the jump aid, into the throw. Phoebe at 1 health now has to guess right. Doesn't get right, gets thrown.
Round 4. Fight.
Lots of empty jump throws we're seeing here, and they seem to be working. Of course, the command throw has so many, not so many, that's what I like, so much range. Oh, gets hit out of the super with the armor breaking move with a clean hit. Yes, the command throw's range has actually been buffed, but I don't think that's just because of buff. It's been buffed by about how far Rook will walk in like 3 frames. It was always high range. And it's just that now people are actually using that range to... And the super will beat the tray, the sweep as it is known. The Rook's head crush will not hit, but it's still very hard to punish. Particularly if you're in the air, you're just trying to survive. Phoebe caught out by the forward A, but pushed free by the forward A. Takes 2 damage, but now Remy has to get all the way back in again. Gets knocked down. Is this Remy in? This is not quite Remy in, but this is Remy having pushed Phoebe all the way to the corner. Jump A into the command, into the thunderclap, blocked, but lands the command throw.
6. Fight.
So much Rook can do after a thunderclap. Gets the throw, straight in, straight out again. Swords through the earthquake, getting a 1 damage punish. The wind will give charged projectiles that are very hard for Rook to deal with. Sometimes best technically it's just to block, but then you're all the way at full screen. Blocks the super and gets the 3 damage punish. Phoebe at 1 health in the bad position, and Remy will take the round.
I was channeling all my Rook Hugger then. Everything Rook Hugger's done to me. So hang on. Oh, sorry. I
You
have to
played
play
Grave.
Grave, and they're random.
They're random. I should probably tell people.
What colour Grave was it? I've forgotten. I was so focused on watching the match.
Damn it, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm just making sure.
follow.
Okay, cool. So we're seeing Grave versus I don't know what colour.
I don't know. Does anyone remember?
Blue. Mozzarella pistol.
Definitely Blue
Wins.
Graves
The
as mozzarella.
Chancellor has arrived.
Grave.
And we're seeing versus
my
Prince.
Oh goodness me. Okay, this doesn't bode well for me. Right, I shall shut up and let you commentate whilst I play.
A fancy opening there
Round 1.
compared to Quince just walking in. It's really think Quince with the ostentatious one. A baited out flyy thingy. That B into the actual cross up that doesn't hit, but gets the combo from forward A into B.
Seeing double.
This was in fact a bait out, getting the combo in. Quince, very hard to deal with if you don't know what to do properly.
Fight.
And I'm not sure what Grave is meant to do here. I know a lot of the time off though, unless Quince has super. If Quince has super, he will jump super. Two Truths mode is active, meaning that now Remy has to block the right direction for everything that might be done here. Of course, luckily all the clones don't do chip damage. They originally nearly did do chip damage. It was ridiculous. They quickly realised that can't be what they do.
Filter.
Okay, successfully baited out Super there into the back A B combo. Of course, Quincy's bread and butter combos are the normals into the B, or a good use of the air super there. Probably Quincy's most powerful move. Which one's real? I wonder, was it the one who was just hit? Okay, Remy at 1 health, has the 2 true spirit, is in chip range. Now, I'm not sure there was any way out of it. Maybe super would have worked if you got it at the exact right time. Phoebe at match point. Ooh, but the ground super will hit, surprisingly. I guess Quincy's hurt box when using jump attack is pretty far horizontal. Jumps out of that, gets the 3 damage combo, gets hit but not counter hit. So Quincy has to charge super again. Phoebe seems to be standing at full screen, gets the successful hit, gets the throw, gets the 2 Shrews mirror out. The super was baited into the back A into B combo.
I told you, I basically auto lose to Quince or Onimaru played well right now, as I have no experience of them virtually, so other than about 10 fights or something, so, and with different characters every time, because I've been playing all kinds of characters, unfortunately. GG's Phoebe, I would say, it's never a good game when I don't understand what's going on, I don't like it.
It looked like you were playing well enough.
Is he just too good then?
Ask Sueezy. Ask many people, they will say, no, he is not too good.
Okay.
It's just confusing.
Fair
And
enough.
you are handling a lot of the mix-ups pretty well.
Yeah,
I'd say with a bit more experience, you would know how better to know which mix-ups to handle, which ones to just allow, and
It's-
any sneaky ways out of things.
Attempting to commentate on attempting to even see which Quince is the right one is the half the problem. Like I have to super focus on the screen and I struggle at that. So
Okay, I'd say we are watching Icon versus Mr. X next, and then you versus Emisox.
okay, so
I'll
Aiken
just say
versus
that.
X.
I have asked them if there will be any rule sets. You haven't seen any rule sets yet. I think the rule sets people prefer to play are either the more ridiculous... Well, okay, no rule sets for this next match. But either the more ridiculous or the mirror rule sets if they're already playing a mirror. And we're not going to be seeing many mirrors here.
Yeah. No, I can't do them because I get super confused with playing. Confused enough playing Fantasy Strike as it is, let alone once you start putting in the rules. I do have the advantage that I did used to have the advantage in these kind of things that I was fairly familiar with all the characters, but that's now not the case, as we've already seen.
Okay. So we're not going to be seeing any rule sets just now. I don't know about the next one. Who knows? Yeah, Quince is a fun character. He's not so fun if your opponents will defend against everything but your most basic combo, I find, because that was my main Quince experience when I tried him out in casual. And I was pressing A, then B, then A, then throw, then A, then B. But apart from that, it's very fun.
I mean, yeah, I just destroyed everyone with him, and I was causing lots of rage quits, and I felt really bad, so I stopped playing him. That's why I didn't really know what to do. So I'm still seeing playing Fantasy Strike from Aiken, so that's when I shouldn't join apparently, but I might risk it because I'm pretty sure we've missed at least a round here. Oops, no.
Yeah, I think you've just broken it.
Oops, no.
I think they've just picked their characters.
Oh. Yeah, I have. Sorry. We'll be back with you 1 moment later.
I think if the screen's gone dark, you might actually have to restart the game.
I do, yeah. Don't worry, I'm already on it. Control Alt Delete and Task Manager was ready there.
I personally tend to favour the Alt F4 method, but to each their own.
I think that shuts my whole laptop down.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Who would set up a laptop to do that? That's
I don't know.
cruel. That's cruel. Because that's also the close window shortcut in Windows.
Oh no, I know. No,
Control-
yes, no. The
Fight.
problem is no. So I'm using this wireless keyboard, and the shortcut key for sleep is Alt F4.
Counter.
That is mean. Okay, so you're seeing
Yeah.
me get it,
So
and
it's the keyboard.
playing icons
Round
main
3.
now. We can
Fight.
see from the fact that they have actually got the master skin here, the master costume, which is a lovely fox mask hooded Setsuki with,
Just a moment.
in this case, a
Yeah.
bright pink scarf.
But a bright pink flash gear there. Very nice, Mr. X.
Yeah, they've each taken a round. Successful anti-air, really, really good reaction there. Both of them just stood still for a bit.
This must. I'll say this must be
Oh,
a
okay.
desync, but no, apparently it's not. Maybe a lag spike, and they decided to wait it out.
Yeah, I assume that was it.
Round 4.
Okay, and Icon will take the round. Of course, Geiger versus Setsuki is a weird matchup, because Geiger can't do the usual Geiger things. Setsuki has so many anti-zoning tools. I've heard that Geiger's best move in this matchup is actually drop gear.
Yeah, can see that.
Yeah, because we...
But-
What's
There's
happening?
definitely something going weird with this. Mr. X is not Geiger.
I think you should respectate.
I think I probably should.
Sorry.
Right, so
Round 6.
confusion and chaos reigns as per usual. Well, we saw we saw Mr. X playing as the buttons from Onimaru, but the graphics of Geiger. I assume that's what we were getting, which is why it didn't make much sense. So every time he was stood still. Oh no. Oh no.
KO.
It's Rook. What is going on here, Janet?
You lose.
We might have lost Janet as well. Well, Garden of
Oh, heck, I
Chaos.
forgot to unmute myself, I was
Oh,
coughing.
I was about to say the Garden of Chaos proved the maximum chaos there. Because
Yeah, I was repeatedly saying, no, he's not on the mode, he's Rook.
but
What's
what?
happening?
Anyway, Mr. X won game 1. He's saying in the chat with his Rook. Right, at this point, I'm gonna have to. This is getting so silly. I'm gonna have to get drunk on some prosecco that I opened on Monday Night Strike. So
That is probably a good plan.
I'll be back with you in 1 moment. Oh no, hang on. Oh yeah, you. Well, hopefully you can spectate this now. I'll be back quickly if it goes wrong, which you probably will.
I will open up my game and try to spectate myself. Indeed, safety man, indeed. Okay, so I will spec.
Plum. Ania.
Okay, and I think we're seeing the wrong characters again. Because. Okay,
Right.
so Lum is correct.
Right,
Oh no, Phoebe's on the wrong character. Okay.
I'll drop. I'll unspectate.
No, I think it's fine. Don't unspectate. I think
Oh,
it's fine.
darn
Oh,
it.
sorry, I hit the microphone. Okay. So I think what was wrong before was fixed because Mr. X was Lum and said that Mr. X was Lum in chat. And Phoebe was just had just picked the wrong person.
Alright, well, Mr. X is playing Fantasy Strike on my screen, so I will not touch it.
Okay, I apologise for hitting the microphone. I'm gesticulating from sheer confusion.
But I'll just show off my bottle cap there, my little cat, keeping my Prosecco nice and busy.
Aww. I forget you have a face cam on.
Still same playing Phantasy Strike.
Yeah, if you don't own the costume, then just pick any costume. If you got one that looks vaguely similar, go for that. If you don't, that's fine. The costume thing was just a bit of silliness from before costumes could be a problem. I will probably remove that after this tournament, because remember, these tournaments are also playtest the entire formats, because we don't know how it's going to go. It's entirely just guesswork.
Yeah, sometimes they run more smoothly than others, and the actual matches have run fairly smoothly tonight so far. It's only been the spectating chaos and amateurish streaming errors from myself, but never mind.
The spectating's been pretty smooth apart from the bug and that one bit of weirdness.
Okay, Mr. X is now playing a friend online on my screen, so I will risk joining in, and we might get to watch some of this.
Hopefully.
Whilst I finish off my congratulations Phantasy Strike on going free to play Prosecco, which is very tasty indeed.
I just remembered to post the stream link in the events and
Round
streams
3.
section.
Fight.
We don't do professional over here, not in the Garden of Chaos. We keep things pretty unprofessional on a Monday, but I like to. Oh no, wait to press for dash, usually not a good idea.
Yeah, it is not a reversal. It feels like it should be a reversal. It isn't. It is the opposite of a reversal. It becomes invulnerable later on. It isn't at the start. And versus Midori, the punch there was actually to press no button. Literally anything would have worked. Except walk. No. I don't think there's any way for Midori to be hit by that. Even if it can want it to be. Using the classic press B a lot strategy with Dragon. Parrying the first ninja port hit, but it crossed up and thus it didn't work. And then getting
back
hit on wake up with another one and then being hit with a kunai. Using B to punish that air attack there, the jump C, the cape. Going for the flows. Getting shut down pretty effectively, but both at 2 health. The successful parry could have thrown. The parry gets more super. The throw does more damage. You can also forward A, but that leaves him at a great... Pardon me? My body is being inconvenient right now. But the forward A will leave him farther away. So
Midori caught pressing buttons there at the long range super.
And that could have been a chip setup, but wasn't. But Satsuki managed to wait out the dragon. But Aiken is getting super meter back. Goes for a parry that doesn't work, but he gets punished and gets hit with a ninja port. The round goes to Mr. X, but at the cost of a third of a super meter. Might work out for Aiken. Gets the throw. Aiken at 4 health, Mr. X at 3. Whiffs with the B, ends up at 4 speed, and gets the 4-hit combo. Mr. X will take the game and the match.
Big combos for Mr. X there, very impressive.
So next we'll be seeing you versus Emmy. You've had a rule set suggested to you.
We've had a rule set suggested, have we?
Yeah. It is I have the high ground that Emmy has suggested. That one works where is it? There it is. One player can only use ground moves and the other can, and at the end switch.
I don't want to say no, but at the same time, I'm not sure I'll be able to do it. So one player can only use ground moves. The other player has to use air moves.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I reckon
and
I
then
can do
each round
that.
you switch
Okay,
down.
let's do it.
Okay.
Is that random who's hair and who's ground?
I'll do a random number generator. If it's odd, it's Emmy. If it's even, it's you.
Cool. Hemi-Suck's level 113 now.
Here comes a new challenger.
I have
This is a very fun game. People play it a lot.
I'm jealous of all you people with this amount of time to play this game this much, to be honest with you.
The number is odd. Emmy starts off with the ground move. Or is
So
it
I've
the
got to be in the air.
Okay, if it's odd, I would do say that's air moves. It's even, I would do ground moves. It's odd. So that means Emmy is doing air moves, and then you'll swap round.
Okay.
I have told them that they're doing the air moves first. I've just relatively woken the stream thing. Because I was spectating myself last time, I think. Nope. Was I? I don't know. I don't think I was. I'm not spectating it now. I think I just overdid it. As always, I am the emblematic of great content. I need to tell you who you're playing. Lum. What?
So, Lum and only ground.
Yep. I swear it's nothing's been rigged. It just dated Lum again.
I'm alright with this. Well, to be fair, my favourite round so far was I won a match with Rook, which is pretty hard to do, so...
Yeah.
Round 1. Fight!
Okay, so starting off with... Oh, you can't clear out mini-mums with air moves. Not easily, at least.
Is jumping allowed?
You're not allowed to do air moves.
Okay, so empty jumps are okay, so I did an empty jump there.
Yeah. If walking's allowed, jumping's allowed. This is going surprisingly smoothly, considering that Grey is not able to clear out items without having to do a jump ghost to do it. Oh, caught the mini-lum in mid-air. Got caught out by the roll.
Round 2. Fight!
Okay, round 2.
That was a ground move from Emmy as well.
You swapped. You swapped.
Oh, we swapped. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, I didn't know how that worked.
Okay.
Hit me down to 3, Emmy. Sorry, we swap every round. I didn't understand that bit. I thought it stayed the same for the entire match.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So okay, so...
This is why I don't play these, because I don't understand them.
Okay. I think Emmy's just trying to hit you now.
Okay.
Okay, oh, that was a ghost. I think that means you're going now. Okay, just go. Just
Go.
Just play. Just play.
So now I'm back to ground again, right?
3.
Yes, you're back to ground.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the joy of such things. It can easily lead to great confusion, as no one knows what's going on because one person's trying to figure out what's going on, but the other person wonders what they're doing. Strong use of air moves there, but got caught out by a fire, got thrown, and got the cross-up roll, the whiff
I'm on
cross-up
air.
roll into the throw.
Fight!
A classic trick. Mathematically, Lum is not actually too much advantaged in that position compared to the alternative options, but it still works out because people just seem to let it happen.
Sorry, that's a loss, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
I
did a ground pact. I did a ground attack.
yeah. It's
I
either
do
a
that. I
good
shouldn't have
score-
agreed. I knew I couldn't have stopped myself. There's always something. It sounds okay on paper, and then I actually play it, and there's something in my muscle memory that I can't deal with.
Everyone has that muscle memory. You can either forfeit the round, or if they say it was okay, they can do a
I
foul
cannot. I'm
themselves.
okay at not doing air moves. Weirdly, that doesn't hurt me. It's when I landed the air move and got a combo opportunity. That's when I couldn't stop myself doing it.
I guess it's easier to stop yourself from pressing one button to stop yourself pressing a whole series of buttons whenever you're on the ground. I mean, getting straight in there. Can't punch heavily with the jackal, but still got the 1 damage and got the ghost. Remy out of the corner. Emmy at 1 health in the corner. Doesn't have to block the bombs. There are fireworks on the way. Dodges them with the fire larger, gets thrown. Remy will take the first game, meaning Remy is now De Grey, and Emmy will be someone random.
Oh, I just saw Emmy's comments in the chat actually about how we how it was
Oh.
supposed to work. Apparently, if you do something wrong, you get hit.
Archigard.
That's
I
even
think
more
that-
confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more reasonable for a thing where it changes every round, but also, yeah,
Ray.
whatever works for you, I think. Okay.
So,
No,
are we
only
the
if you
same?
are the lost.
Are we the same way round? Is this still we
Um,
do?
which way round were you last time? As in at the end of that last round.
Odds was ground. For me.
Okay, I'll just give you a random thing. Odds was ground for you. Odd.
It's the
So
same
you're
again.
the ground.
So round one ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure. Yep. Yes.
Round one ground
I
moves.
couldn't find my
Okay.
original message.
Round 1.
Arg with only air
Fight.
moves.
Assist.
Versus Degrade with only ground moves, which include Ghost.
Assist. Gotcha.
Okay. So, getting into there. The thing is, there's not much Arc can.
Perfect.
There's not much Arc can do in the first place against Degrade's corner pressure. We don't have ground super.
Assist.
There's nothing.
Final arbiter.
But Arg is very good at punching people who are in the air. So we'll see how this goes now.
Assist.
Oh! Sorry.
Got the ground pound, but that of course was a ground move. You've been hit for one.
I just did ground ghost as well.
And
Oh, I
the-
can't stop myself landing. I can stop myself initiating them, but once I land an air move, so I've got ground moves now.
Assist.
yeah, you're on the ground. I'll be muted for a moment. Alright, right. How I feel this works is, in general, Arg is heavily advantaged when Arg's on the... Degrade is heavily advantaged when Degrade's on the top
Yeah.
round each time.
Round 4. Fight.
But
Oh,
luckily,
okay.
any advantage like that balances out. It's perfectly fair. Perfectly fair. Completely and utterly fair.
Final
No,
arbiter.
no one's saying so.
That wasn't
Oh.
technically a ground move, that was a lack of ground move, I'm going to argue.
Yeah, I think Yomu counters are fair. Otherwise you could just do walk up throw constantly. Getting caught by the goldfish have been pushed out to the back of the screen, but gets in, but Argard using the very powerful God Hand as it's called.
Fight.
Assist.
Oh, Emisog's having a strong opening for air moves as Argard there. Has got 3 damage without taking a single hit. And with the air super to make things even more awkward and to push Degrade all the way into the corner.
It's my turn.
But Remy has access to the parry right now and managed to use that. Has now got Argard in the corner. Very hard to get out right now. Honestly, the only way out is to successfully call out a throw. Or to do that. And to get a cross-up staff drill,
Don't know me.
taking the round,
6.
and now on the ground.
Assist.
So there is advantage, but that doesn't mean it's unwinnable.
No, sorry.
Okay. And just so much zoning there.
Didn't actually hit.
Yeah, and you got hit forward as well, so.
Assist.
You play with this silly format because it's fun and silly.
I got around with air moves as well. Oh my goodness.
7. Fight.
Yeah, the actual initial way this tournament was designed was specifically for the formats. Was for the rule sets.
Assist.
The tournament formats were an added-on thing to make it so that each one was setting you whether or not you played rule set and to make sure that you can get. Okay, that was quick.
You win.
Punishing the jump away, De Grey has very strong anti-airs. Yeah, it was originally just because people were coming up with all sorts of game.
Did I just win that, or do we play again? I've completely lost track of what's going on.
You won the last one because you became De Grey.
Okay, cool. Well, GG. Sorry, Emmy. I'm completely lost touch with reality.
I mean, that's the tournament style, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Every tournament has different rules, but all of them have the same rules of you. There's always someone who, at least one match where people are playing rule set and get confused. But yeah, there were 2 rounds where someone won from the air, so that was cool.
That was crazy. I had to really think about that one as well. I was like, hang on. Yeah.
Okay, tournament round 4. You are not in this one, so we can pick.
Hey, we don't need to watch me.
Okay. So I think we'll be watching Mr. X versus Mozzarella. Then, wait, no, you are in this one. You're the last name I saw. So we're seeing watching Mr. X versus Mozzarella, and it will be Burger King versus you.
Okay.
You've been in all of them. There's meant to be someone who isn't in every round, and it hasn't been you yet.
Okay, so I am playing this round, but then the last round I won't play, presumably.
Presumably, assuming there is a last round, which happens if there is no decisive.
Yeah, cool. So Mozzarella versus Mr. X was the first match, right? Did they not
Yeah.
play already? Getting totally confused.
I mean, no.
No, I don't forget anything. I don't know what's going on at all anymore, Janet. You're just gonna have to take it from here. Oh, I was thinking of Aiken. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Really wish they were talking about the ordering of things on the friends list. Not only is it a very strange order that doesn't seem to defy all logic, it also moves people around. So when I position my cursor ready to watch someone, and then of course the menus all move.
Yeah, I
lose
don't
track
know
of
what
it.
it's based on at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories I've seen as to how it calculates it, whether it's order of adding or something, but it definitely isn't that.
I think it's how the server goes through the database.
Right, that would make a lot of
Because
sense.
I've seen in logs, I'm pretty sure they send you who's online.
We got a follow from Gurubashi.
Ooh, nice. But yeah, because in your logs you can see when you get told who's online, and it will have them in a particular order. I haven't checked the same order. I expect it's the same order.
Right, so I think it's people going on and offline that resorts it then, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe?
that
Right.
would make sense.
Oh, I've got playing a friend online, so that's
Oh,
safe
nice.
to join now. Mr. X, I'm joining. Let's see what we can watch of this one. I'll attempt to stay too much. Dive fish, yeah.
Yeah,
We could have had an ARG versus ARG, would have been fun, I think.
yeah.
ARG.
Right, unfortunately for this tournament format, setting up a mirror intentionally will contradict it, so you can't really do that.
No.
But any rules, any format where that doesn't contradict it, you can do that. You can just go, okay, let's both play ARG.
I'm not getting into Mr. X, so I'm going to try...
No, stay spectating. I expect it was just because it was round 1.
Okay. Try again. This is mozzarella underscore CHZ, or mozzarella cheese, perhaps. It's their, well, I've got to play TPK.
Yep, I will have to tell him whenever he's up because he's in
He's
his own
also-
stream right now, so he is playing against someone for that stream.
I'd love someone to suggest the rules that I should be playing against, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, in chat, if you want Remy to play a rule
Round
set
3.
that he will
Fight.
suggest by Pirate King, if by Pirate King agrees and if
Yeah,
Remy
let me know
agrees.
what I should be doing against Pirate King, what rules set I need to play. We've got Mr. X on Jada now. Mozzarella playing Lum. Is that correct, or are we watching a crazy match of...
I don't know if that's correct. They haven't said who they're playing. Actually, no, Mozzarella should be playing Lum.
Mozzarella is playing Lum, so that's a good sign.
And Mr. X should be playing Jaina.
Brilliant. That, we are now watching real live Fantasy Strike action here in the Garden of Chaos. In the snowy
Surprisingly
mountains.
on occasion.
No
It looked like
spectator
both
error
players-
this time.
It looked like both players were doing sane and legitimate things and coherent things the last time as well. And then it turned out that one of them was not the character they should be. The only weirdness was they were capable of just stopping. Okay, so yeah, Mozzarella up 2 rounds, Mr. X up 1 round. Mozzarella advantage in this round so far, but at this range, Lum can get so many items out. But guarding the cake so that can't happen and take for super reasons, presumably. Successfully anti-airing the Rain of Fire, but getting out of it by an arrow. Picks up the super so Mr. X doesn't get another super too soon.
Roll the dice.
Gets out the dice, doesn't get anti-aired for the trouble, both at 1 health, and the Dragon Heart will beat any other option.
Round 5.
It is invulnerable, the dice won't kill you before you kill them.
Yeah, I feel like Mozzarella might have had that, but wasn't to be. Mr. X coming back strong.
Yeah, and of course, a block could have been beat by foot. There's always a way out if you're next to them. There's always a way out.
Yeah, there's only a handful of perfect setups in Fantasy Strike.
Yeah, and even if there is a perfect setup, if they change it, it's difficult to break it intentionally and consciously, but it's important to be able to recognise, oh, this won't quite work. Is there a way I can make it even less likely to... Can I walk forward ever so slightly? Or something like that. Well, but if they did a jump ghost as part of the setup instead of a ground ghost, can I roll under that ghost? The answer is probably. Oh, and that would not do
Jackpot there, Mozzarella.
that would not have beaten any option
Round
there.
6.
It would have traded at best, with an arrow would have lost as well. An arrow
Mr.
and
X
a
getting a
Dragonheart.
lot of mileage out of his Dragon Hearts in this set so far.
Yeah, Dragonheart is a powerful move. It's very good against Mom as well. Because of course it is invulnerable. Mr. X getting up there straight down to 1 health and getting the Dragonheart. The cartwheel, of course, it is the most tempting button to always press.
Win.
You almost never should. So of course now, moving to Lum and one of them playing at random. We will see.
Lum. Ante up.
Able to pick the correct colours there as well, very nice.
Always good to see. And De Grey, it looks like. This is a fun matchup. And going for the pretty master costume.
Very
De Grey.
nice.
Yeah, some people say they
Good.
don't like the wig. I mean, I don't mind the wig, but I love the colours.
Yeah, maybe they'll do a wigless option in the future as well. Judge De Grey.
Speaking of wigless, I don't know if we'll see it here, but I occasionally Ghost after De Grey
Round
gets knocked down doesn't have hair,
Assist.
which is interesting. I should probably report that at some point.
I was going to say in the last match we saw a bit of mileage out of Lum's non-bugged fireworks in that match actually.
Yeah, it's so nice to have access to his lung. I don't
I'm
need
so-
to worry about them crossing up. It does make fireworks weaker, but they still land. They have to deal with the fireworks properly now, and suddenly everyone seems to know how to deal with them properly, which is great. Oh, doesn't combo the neutral layers, and just isn't quite in range to throw or parry the jackpot. Has to block all those items. The jump ghost, a very powerful sword against Lung, gets knocked out of that, and the parry doesn't last long enough to stop the cartwheel.
Yeah, great idea with the parry, but just slightly early with it.
Yeah,
It's a really
parry
good
up
tool
can't-
against cartwheel actually. Pretty much
Yeah.
shuts it down.
Yeah, if they have super, you can't cartwheel. They will parry on.
If they're ready for it though, Janet, which not everyone is. Especially when you might be playing a character you're very unfamiliar with in the Garden of Chaos.
Good anti-air.
Assist.
That use of neutral air was very good. I love seeing neutral air used properly as anti-air. It's not something you see enough of, honestly. And so every time you see it, it's like a lovely treat. The
But neutral air
coil,
with Lum.
of course- Yeah, it's a very
Yeah, I
powerful
love
move,
it.
but But of course, the most important thing about it is the way it combos, so most people focus on that. But the other thing it does is it hits really high up.
Round 3. Fight.
Yeah, no, I love using it as an anti-air actually.
And it feels so
I'll
cool.
have to get on Lum a bit more and you might see some.
Oh, heck yeah. Doesn't get baited out by the max range forward aid, but of course might not have been a bait because we didn't see a parry. Because at max range, De Grey has enough time to turn it into a mix rather than be always punched.
Yeah. A lot of truth
Oh,
punches
and a
here.
counter hit. Counter hit, truth punch into the neutral A.
Round 4. Fight.
Fish Blur saying it's Thursday Night Strike. No, no, this is the Garden of Chaos. This is more chaos than I could handle on a Thursday night normally.
Trade with the Ghost doesn't combo the neutral A's. Of course, you have to mash it at full speed to actually combo them. There's a slight bit of delay you can do, but you can't do much. But
Okay.
get with the cross-up jumping.
Round 5.
Takes that round really quickly. De Grey's jump attacks are very powerful.
Yeah, Mozzarella looked like they're getting most of the mileage out of the truth punches, but now going in with the normal
Good
punches and showing some good skills with those as well.
Yeah, this matchup requires heavy adaptation from both characters, I find. But at the basic level, it is just glorious fun. And at the higher levels, it's glorious fun too.
Yeah, well, both these characters were on my original Team Fun.
Oh, managed to bring Mozzarella down to 1 health, but then got caught by
You
and add that little bit of extra pressure. Because De Grey is living up to his name as a frame trap character.
Yeah, very
So
nice
now
stuff.
switching to Lum. This character's switching back and forth. Lum versus who? Lum versus Lum?
Lum.
So the brown bear
Ante up.
on the stair. One second, I'll be back in a moment.
Onamaru.
I'm in command here.
Okay, so we're seeing Lum versus Onimaru. This is actually one of the more interesting matchups with Onimaru, I think. Because, as always, Lum, if Lum
Round
gets
1.
in and has items set up, Lum is heavily advantaged. Lum has to get in to use those items. Onimaru is good at clearing out items. The back A will really effectively clear out mini-Lums, like that. And there's not much Lum can do about it. Gets caught out by Mozzarella's own bomb in chip out range, which is very bad versus Onimaru. Gets the throw, that will use up all the chip out time. Gets caught out by the somersault and counter hits the, I think that was B. Doesn't fall for parries and tries to parry the fireworks, but
Hello,
then
sorry
there's
about
another
that.
firework.
2.
You
Fight.
can't parry the fireworks like that.
Surprise.
You have to block.
Melon. Melon.
And to block, what you have to do is use movement back and forth to make sure that not all the fireworks. Then you don't take the full chip. Doesn't throw on wake up, but Mozzarella is going to be expecting that. Rolls under the Spirit Slash and gets the cross up, pushing Mixer into the collar. Mixer using the air sweeper, both using their air sweepers. Gets 2 damage out of that 1 dice. Rolls through the robot, gets chipped out, throws out of the parry for the last health point of the round.
Round 3. Fight.
Throws Mr. X out of the parry rather than parrying them throwing. I realise I said that unclearly. Takes out the mini-lum before it can even land. Didn't get a chance to live. Gets hit by the fireworks for a 3-hit combo. Arna is very dangerous during firework times. Sword does not trade with the jackpot, beats it outright, but gets knocked out of the dash forward.
Fight. Melon. Catch.
Okay, goes at full screen. Lum getting all these items out, but all of them cleared out before they can do anything. Cloud will keep Mr. X at a distance. Spirit Slash to make sure that Mozzarella doesn't do too much.
Melon.
Both have lost 1 health, that is of course advantage for Onimaru. Oh, and the roll will cross up and thus beat the parry. Not the parry, the super.
Roll the dice.
The dice are out. 2 damage because of pressing buttons in that time. And the BB will not be fast enough to beat the roll. And Mozzarella will take the game.
Lose.
Very impressive
And
stuff. Yeah, like I'm not very familiar with that matchup, and it seems very hard for Lum for me, but that looked really good stuff. So, yeah. Some interesting mix of styles there from Mozzarella as well, kind of going in and then coming out again. Obviously, I don't know how familiar Mr. X is with Onimaru.
So, will we be seeing any rule sets? I haven't seen anything.
No one's asking for a rule set for me
So-
versus Pirate King.
So it depended if TPK suggests any.
I don't know what they all are. He's also
Oh,
playing a
he's
game right now, so we've got a bit of time for me to have a look at them.
Yeah, I'll post it in the commentator thing. There you go.
Show them on screen as well. See.
Yeah, Oni versus Lum is a really interesting matchup. Onimaru in the right position is advantaged. Onimaru can clear out lots of Lum stuff, but Onimaru in any other position is disadvantaged. Okay, TPK says no
New
rule sets.
challenger.
Okay,
Fight match.
I'll go with just the normal craziness of the random characters. That's fine.
Yep, you'll be playing
Who is my equal?
Midori.
Has he got Grave?
We'll see.
'Cause he's already selected Grave.
I've asked to make sure Ray rolls are actually random.
Midori. It's an honor to fight.
Cool, Grave was random, this is fine. So, we're seeing Grave versus Midori. Both master costumes, demonstrating that both of them know how to play these characters. Very effective.
Round
You'd think,
one.
wouldn't you?
Fight.
Your Midori's good. Strong Yoni to start with, seeing the jump in, then the walk in throw. Crosses up with that into the parry, which does not get parried into the throw. Parry which does not get punished, rather. But now, has Remy at full screen. Remy has Super Meter, but has to get in to be able to use it effectively. Or can use it to get in. But that's a risk. Because Grave could do things like that to waste. He's backing off all the way across the screen, gets the wind up, avoids all those dragon breaths, whatever they're called. Then he had 1 health.
That was
gets
delayed
Yoni
as well.
Out of a delay throw. That's a
Round
good Yoni.
2. Fight.
Okay, the sword will catch Remy out. Remy now stuck in the corner, having to deal with all of Graves' corner. Gets anti-ed with the big cloud. Of course, that being actual Thunder Cloud, not the Final Fantasy character. I'm now just imagining that them all is just Cloud, really confused, being propelled out of Graves' hand. But, yeah. Oh, sword to dodge the command throw. That was... I don't think I've ever seen that before. Okay. And TPK will take that around perfect.
Round 3. Fight.
Very effective zoning we're seeing here. Okay, so Remy getting in but having to deal with all of TPK's options afterwards. Getting the 2 hits in there. Getting pushed back by the wind but into Dragon Form. Getting fireballed out. And then air to edge with the spinny magic. More spinny magics. And just a jump A after what looked like an...
Round 4. Fight.
Use the time during the command throw to get out the wind. Spinny Magic to keep Remy in the corner. I refuse to stop calling it a Spinny Magic.
Oh,
Failed
come
to
on.
punish.
Sorry.
You don't need to apologise for being old.
No, I completely messed up that punish. I set everything up and I'm just missing things and my pad's not.
TPK going through a Yomi there. Getting, that looks like a clean hit, yeah? Completely clean hit there. Will take the first game.
You
Moving
lose.
TPK onto Midori. And Remy will be playing Geiger.
Midori, it's an honor to Midori, it's an honor to fight you.
So of course this
Geiger.
is a very different matchup. Once again Midori is still being zoned out. But there's much less ability to actually out-pressure the dragon. Grave is very good at that. Once Grave builds up speed, he will keep going.
Round
And
one.
it's hard to handle.
Fight!
Whereas Geiger builds up speed, he's about the same speed as normal. Still hard to deal with, but nowhere near as good as shutting you down. Most of the shutting down is in zoning abilities. Going for time spirals rather than forward A's to catch. Lots of time spirals here, of course, but we have. It will be weird. But I keep trying to call it the chromatic revolution, the cycloid revolution, to get lots of chip down, a full bar's worth, and de-transforms into the time spiral. Perfect time for Remy.
Fight!
Okay, just both poking each other, no can hit. But now suddenly, lots of two different two-hit combos. Doesn't quite anti-air the butt slam as it is commonly known. Instead, getting hit at the end of the flash gear due to it being slightly too early. Gets thrown, but manages to get some damage in and some chip, and the time spiral will beat the flying
Round
kick
three.
thingy.
Fight!
Lots of butt slams we're seeing here from Midori. Indeed, Geiger is kind of disgusting, but he used to be worse. We're glad he doesn't have so much downtime.
Let's recalculate that.
Oh, a strong Yomi. Suddenly pushing TPK out again. Has to play. You have to play very safe against Geiger. Fine. Probably his strongest move in that matchup is
Round
neutral jump A.
four. Fight!
Because he can't quite neutral jump time spells, but with his neutral jump A, he can push him and thus get over them. Oh, a strong 3-hit combo. The Cycloid Revolution, will this be punishable? No. So jumps back, has to block that time spiral, but doesn't have to block the Cycloid Revolution. Because, of course, when you jump back, that forces it to go up and down slightly. And when it can only just about hit full speed, pretty significant. And gets in with the Dragon Form and takes him out.
Round 5. Fight!
Gets in with the Dragon Swoop. Tries to base out a reversal with an early pre-meaty neutral A, but doesn't work. And then is stuck at full speed without Dragon, but has taken 2 damage. Now only has to deal with 2 more damage, and with a bad time stop, but can't be punished due to the time spiral. Couldn't actually get that last bit of damage in. Only needs 1 more hit though. Maybe a back A could be used here? It doesn't matter if you trade with time spiral. The Cycle of Revolution to wait out the dragon. For seeing all the jumping that is very emblematic of the situation. It wasn't quite enough though. Dragon Bomb is big. Geiger's forward A is a very effective poke. The flash gear will beat out any air attacks, and then the forward A
You win.
take the ground.
Now the problem here is that TPK now gets my Geiger. He's very good with Geiger.
Yeah, you will be playing Setsuki.
De Grey.
Wait,
Justice!
yes, yes.
Okay, I'm waiting for.
Justice!
Wait, hang on. Who won the first?
TPK.
You won the first. Wait,
Oh no, hang
you won
on.
the first one.
Oh no, hang on. I'm getting confused.
You won that. You're
I won
Midori.
it. Sorry. Yes.
He's
No.
not Geiger. He's not Geiger.
So I'm Midori again.
And he's the grey at the time.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, we'll go
The
with.
fun thing about this being, of course, that
Midori.
if it's a 2-1 match, then you end up with the same character throughout, just taking turns.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Sorted now.
Round
Right.
1.
I'll shut up.
Fight.
Assist!
Seeing the Plum Midori versus the smart black and red De Grey.
Objection!
Strong Yomi to start with.
Assist! Justice!
The Justice Kicks to anti-air, seeming to zone out Midori here. With good use of Justice Kicks as well.
Daggerfall!
But, of course,
Assist!
Remy already has Dragon Meter. Because Midori's in no rush. Midori has patience. Midori will become Dragon and then win. Or maybe not win, but in this case, win.
Round 2.
It is the onus of everyone else to stop that from happening. Good use of Ghost there to catch out the Dragon's charging headbutt thingy.
Final Arbiter!
The final Arbiter will get out of the corner. The Ghost will punish the Dragon Sweep, as will the Neutralize. The forward A will punish the D-Transform, and the Justice Kick will punish any button. You've got to block
3.
them.
Fight.
The Midori having a lot more pressure against De Grey this time,
Assist!
seeming to try to do the best to keep him back. The Justice Kick will beat the Flying Kick thingy.
Assist!
Remy no longer trapped in the corner and is the Dragon form, but will get Justice Kicked. It's hard to say actually. Got carried, will lose that round. That was a good parry.
Round 4. Fight.
Justice Kicks!
Blocked the Justice Kicks but couldn't punish because it was max range.
Justice!
D-Transform, but that didn't get punished either. Got ghosted. 2 damage.
Assist!
At 4 health. Has to deal something. Or at least get Dragon Meter, but preferably Dragon Meter and then win this round, win next round. Get Yomi at 1 health.
Assist! 1, 2!
The setup didn't work. The Ghost didn't hit, and then the jump B got parried. Going for the Flying Kick. Okay, very. I don't know how powerful that is, but got parried. Very good Yomis and parries from TB.
Round 5. Fight.
Great reads, I'm saying.
Justice Kicks! Assist!
Also loads of good use of Justice Kicks as a sort of preemptive reversal. Holding the Dragon back, but got Dragon swooped before the D-Transform could happen. Forward A, seemingly trying to Yomi again. Forward A again. Takes the round.
Round 6. Fight.
Will we be seeing a comeback here?
Assist!
I hope so, that's always exciting. Doesn't matter who wins after that point, but if it gets to 3-3, that's the most exciting. But a strong Yomi counter again. Okay.
Assist! Justice Kicks! Gotcha!
And then jump in with an empty jump into throw, using Remy's trick against him.
Assist!
Goes to zone out,
Counter.
trying to force the oath onto Remy to do some. Remy opting to have that something be transformed into a dragon. Always a good option. The Justice Kicks will beat the B, and the jump B, the Flying Kicks thingy, will beat the Dragon Sweep. TBK takes the match.
Yeah, JG's just got a load of good reads there, and I just couldn't get a good read once. I did it once or twice, and then went for one grab there, and he just yommied it, and that really turned the tide.
Okay, that was 2-0. We'll be getting round 5? We will. And you're not in round 5.
Hey, so we watched 2 other people.
Yeah, we watched enough. I'd say we watch. Actually, let's watch all of them this round. Let's watch all of them.
Okay. What's the first one we're going for then?
So let's do them in order. First, actually, let's do Emmy first because I know they like. So Phoebe versus Emmy. Then Mozzarella versus Icon. Then TPK versus Mr. X. I've asked him if there will be any rule sets. But yeah, there are so many strong beats in that. So many Yomis, so many Justice Kicks, which you need to have lots of time to do a call out with those.
Yeah, normally, again, don't know if it's because I'm playing on a higher ping than I used to when I play TPK, but like when you feel me looking at my pad in disgust, it's like, I'm always confused when I think I'm blocking something and things like that, and I'm not, and I'm like, I don't know if this is the ping time. So I get very frustrated playing in those kind of pings, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you think you blocked something then you didn't, I think that's not ping, I think that's input delay.
Might be, yeah. But I don't get it against most people. I don't get it against anyone in Europe, which is why I like to play against Europeans, so...
Weird. Oh yeah, I need to tell you who you'll be playing. No, you're not in this one.
I'm not in. Sorry, and the menu's just shifted again, so I've lost track of who... Emmy, wasn't it? Yeah.
I finally built up the habit of remembering this map.
Mr. X praying to the RNG gods to be merciful.
Oh, I don't think the RNG gods know mercy. Yep, Emmy is playing Satsuki. Mr. X, oh, that was the last one. Yeah. Right, so yeah. Satsuki versus Lum will be seeing. This, of course, is a very interesting matchup. I think it's about even, but a lot of Lum players, I think, struggle with it. Because I think there's just a general knack you have to get with how that you need to deal with. And until you just get the hang of that, it's going to be very difficult. You're not going to know what's going on. Once you get that, you will get a sense of when you can roll to dodge any of Satsuki's things. And then it becomes very hard for Satsuki to... So while she will spend a lot of time in, you'll get lots of chances to... And it's a fair matchup at that point.
I'd definitely much rather be playing Satsuki than versus Val.
Oh yeah, Satsuki is infinitely better than Val. Val will actually shut down Lum. Because the problem is Val doesn't have to jump to do her attacks. Lum can't roll out of it that way.
Round 3. Fight!
Right, we missed a couple of rounds, unfortunately, while we weren't sure if it would kick them.
Roll the dice!
But Satsuki is getting the edge here, as we suspected it might be slightly easier to play with Satsuki, even if it could be even at high levels.
Fight!
Yeah, it is going very well for Emmy.
Counter!
Very well, just getting straight in and just got a strong, almost a reversal style throw there. Getting into Lum's ridiculous open and going straight into the jumper into the throw. Got a mini Lum out, forcing Satsuki's block. And Satsuki going for the super, got caught out by the Thundercloud, comboed into the roll, and then the fireworks are on their way just for that extra bit of pain.
What a back A call out to start the round.
Strong Yomi there from Phoebe. Push into the corner and going for the throws now. Lum's throw game very strong. Colt and mixed up, went for the neutral instead, comboed into the coin. Slightly delayed coin so it actually hit, whereas usually it wouldn't. Didn't quite combo into the bomb, unfortunately. Comboed into her own bomb. Emmy blocking both mid arms, but having to take because of it and getting both at 2 health. Satsuki with initiative, Satsuki with a command throw, Satsuki with the chip out.
Yeah.
Emmy will take the first game.
You win.
So now, Emmy has to play Lum. I've seen them play some Lum before, they're a decent Lum.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good with a lot of characters, to be honest.
Yeah.
Lum. Geiger.
Versus Geiger. Of course, if Lum can successfully navigate difficult for Geiger, because Geiger has to rush down. If Lum can't, that's a different
Round
story.
1. Fight.
What's this?
Melon to destroy the time spiral and then get out an item. Blocking that time spiral. Trading with the flash bow using a melon. Blocking the time spiral. Pushed into the corner with the Cyclone Revolution. Punished on the Cyclone Revolution. I keep trying to call it the Chromatic Revolution. I'm just imagining Geiger with a giant paintbrush.
Roll the dice.
Making gears out of it somehow. Good use of dice to get point of chip. Of course, the dice can be more powerful than that, but that is very consistent, that point of chip. There's not much they can do about it. Like getting in, getting the back A to, which leaves you very plus. It's a very good move if you can get it in, and then getting the throw.
Yeah, Phoebe with Geiger there with a I forgot that works.
Surprise!
Shows how much I've been playing this game. Well, I've been playing it quite a lot, but I don't get Lums very often.
I need to fix. I need to go into casual gear to run more often. I've been mostly playing ranked, but okay. So
Roll the dice.
very even round this one. But during a going for dice without anything defending you, you will get time side, and it clear out 2 dice and the throw.
I feel, has that got better then for Geiger?
Round
versus
3.
Oh,
Lum?
Geiger could always do that.
Really?
Melon.
I
Yeah,
had no idea.
you have to use dice over a middle level or a bomb or something.
Look out.
Alright,
Oh,
I
2
didn't know
fireworks.
that.
But those fireworks completely missed due to Phoebe managing to back off.
Roll the dice.
Just a moment.
And here we will see it again, possibly also comboing onto the time spell, but probably not.
Yeah,
But
it does.
comboing into it, didn't even need to bounce off.
And gets the cherry. They both get a cherry.
Oh, didn't probably tried to roll under that time spiral as it started.
Roll the dice.
That's also being hit by the time spiral. Walking onto the mini run. Getting the dice
More
out,
dice
pushing
on the
into the
screen.
other dice,
Just a moment.
and that will not save you from the oh, it did save them from the time spiral, and also hit the time stop before the flash gear came and won them. That was
Crazy.
amazing. Cake out, but Phoebe chose to take the cake instead of walking forwards and making use of Lum's lack of ability to throw items there. Of course, you can only have 1 item or melon out at once.
Such good flash gears in this whole set for Phoebe though.
Excellent flash gears, yeah.
Flash gearing a Lum roll was really crazy as well.
And so many times,
So many health
Oh.
points of Lum there.
just all the
Round
pokes.
5.
But
All of
I
those
think
were feeding Geiger
Phoebe had
all
to
the
do about
time.
9 points of damage there because Lum got so many cherries.
Time spiral.
I mean, Phoebe was also picking up those. Phoebe guarding the cake, picks up the cake with a neutralize so as not to lose charge. Gets meloned.
Just a moment.
The jackpot on its way. Walking through the cake, not picking it up.
That's
because-
combo!
Oh, God, as is well known, you can't eat cake while time is paused. Everyone's faced that problem before.
In real life and in Phantom Strike.
Yep.
Look out.
Both at 3 health, Emmy with super, but Phoebe has just built up to, but took 2 points of fireworks damage and got hit by a stray coin.
Skill coin from the jackpot just did it there.
Clockwork.
Interesting
going
going
for a
for the
full
air
swing.
super. Not saving it for the ground super this time. So
And
many
what
fireworks
always
coming
making
out.
it ineffectual, honestly, at that point, but it's still... It stops Lum from going in, but Lum doesn't want to go in.
Drop here.
This will
Trade.
trade.
Yeah.
Surprise! Melon!
Time spiral.
Items!
Time spiral.
Good item fresh from Emi here, but very good flash gears from
Such
Phoebe.
good flash gears.
Surprise! What's this?
Time spiral.
Just giving up so much screen space there.
What's this?
Backing
Yeah,
off
but
from the tank side
avoided any time spirals. Which was but no, that one and
And
another combo
combos.
into.
KO.
and takes the game.
That was a Tour de Geiger force, I feel there. That was really, really excellent stuff. Loads of little tricks I didn't know there.
Yeah, and now the Lum being passed back again.
It's the back and forth lumness.
Ante up!
Argagard.
And Emi getting armed. Now, this is a very interesting match, because it's almost often
Round
a race
one.
between chip and poison.
Fight.
Lum can deal absurd amounts of chip, but that chip does not remove poison.
Take that!
And of course, item setups are going to get cleared out by constant ripple.
Roll the dice!
Doesn't get caught out by the thundercloud, blocks the dice, tries to figure out what moves can, but eventually finds that forward A does the trick and gets a hit in the process. And gets out poison at a time where blue would have.
Round
Yeah, that
two.
was definitely not the right move there. Poison that situation. Very, very risky if your opponent chooses to ignore it, and Phoebe did.
Yeah, because of course any poison is a chance forcing Phoebe to take the chip from the bomb.
Roll the dice!
Clearing out the dice with the 4-day, but getting hit out of 4-day. Clearing out the mini Lum with the river. Getting the poison going. Doesn't get anti-ed. Gets a Yomi counter. Now there's a lot of work needing to be done by Phoebe for the poison works. Bubble shield just to make sure there's no mix-up, but gets the throw at the last moment. But gets the Yomi counter.
Wow, what a back and forth stuff at the end of that round. It looked like Emisox was totally in control. Then they looked like they lost it. Then they got the win anyway.
Trade to start between, I think that was 4-day
Combos
and
from the big
Vol.
fish. Nice.
Yeah, Phoebe stuck out of range, but gets the hit, clears out the poison, rolls under the bluefish, blocks the 4-day, backs off, gets hit by the bluefish, combos into the 4-day.
Round four.
Emisox will take that round. Just walking forward through the poison, trying to go for a back A in case that happened to hit, it didn't. Apparently my voice just resonated with a random thing in the stream. Okay, Emi seems to be in total control of this round. Sorrent has advantage and will take it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Round
Emi
five.
at game point. A scary ARG.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that Ark might have a. Yeah, Ark when played very, very well looks terrifying for Lum to deal with, to be honest.
Because once ARG gets into the corner, Lum is heavy advantage. Emi is
Yeah.
not spending much time in the corner. Like just back
back
A
A.
to beat the roll. Trades with the jackpot, blocks the roll, gets the big fish. Phoebe will not dodge the poison. And Emi didn't block.
Phoebe somehow with the from downtown Hail Mary punch it hits.
I was certain that would get Phoebe hit by.
The last
what?
thing you'd expect to work really in that situation.
I guess that's probably why it worked.
Maybe, yeah.
Combo out of the big fish. Phoebe showing good ability to roll under things here in general, honestly. Very consistently sneaking under all projectiles. Counter hitting, not counter hitting, hitting that.
Oh, and misses the combo.
Oh god.
But the
This
goldfish.
is close. Yeah, the goldfish. If Emi had been going for a 4-day at that moment, the jackpot would have beaten it. Emi wasn't. Emi
Wow.
will take that game and that match. So next we'll be seeing Mozzarella versus Icon.
See if I can hang on the menu like this. If I've clicked ready to watch and it moves.
Okay, so yeah, Mozzarella versus Icon.
Currently in menu, so we'll not join yet.
Okay. But yeah, that is a really fun matchup to watch, honestly. It can be very, very, very tough to play.
Yeah.
But it's fun one to watch. Because both players are constantly dealing with impending.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth in my head, in my theory strike about which character has the advantage in that one. And it seems to be like the most recent match I watched convinces me the other way, because that one convinced me that Argagog beats Lum, but
Yeah, but
slight advantage.
a very important thing for Arg to know about is that if Arg doesn't have super and is in the corner, Lum can just spam Melon all day.
Yeah, no, I am well aware of that one. I've been on the receiving end and the giving end of that one.
Yeah, it's so painful for Argagog. And even if Argagog does have super, Lum can still do. If Lum gets Argagog knocked down in the corner, Lum can jackpot and just throw all of the items at Argagog. And unless that Lum gets very unlucky, that is a bad position to be in as Argagog. Because you can't deal with mini Lums if they're already on top of you. And then Lum gets to also inflict all the chip that they want to on you. It's painful. But both these things require Lum getting into that position.
Yeah, which is a lot easier said than done. I think one of the keys to it now, like, I used to really believe that dice was like a big equalizer for Lum, but having watched that one, I think if the Argagog really knows how to deal with dice, they don't do that much anymore.
Yeah, generally what I see, if Lum gets super meter before Argagog, dice are actually pretty good as long as you get do it while the Argagog's busy.
Right.
But otherwise, Arg will just forward A. Forward A will anti-A you and clear out a dice. A forward A will also clear out another dice immediately after, and another one after that. Or Argagog can use Staff Drill to clear out multiple dice at once.
Yeah, I've seen them just like immediately erase dice far too many times now.
Yeah, and if Argagog does have super, here comes the big fish. Gives all the time in the world to clear out those dice.
Yeah, quite good points.
The dice are an important equalizer against, say, Grave. They mostly what they do against Argagog is use up your super, but make it so that Argagog is busy for a moment, so you can do other things. Maybe you'll get a trade.
Right, looks like we can get into Aiken now.
Nice. Of course, they're playing a friend online, so we're past the bug, we hope.
Yeah.
And since it's taken a moment, yeah, it looks like we're missing the first round. Current state of things.
Round 2. Fight!
Yeah, there we go. So Mozzarella is with Valerie, Aiken with Grave.
What I consider to actually be a very classic matchup. Both pretty even.
Yeah, I think so.
And at least from Valerie's side, it's a fun matchup to play. And catches Grave out of the jump with the Cyan. The magenta whiffs, the yellow there is... I don't know if it's unsafe against Grave. It's unsafe Lum, if Lum can throw you out of. But it works either way. Gets in with the zip. Gets some shit pressure and backs off. Jumps over the fireball, blocks the sword, gets the 2 damage punish. Gets thrown for the trouble. Gets thrown again. Not a safe jump though. Gets pushed back, Grave pushed back, but of course that's actually not great for Valerie. Valerie wants to be in. Yeah, Schrader gets caught out of the zip with the ground super. Aiken will take the round. I don't know if it's pronounced Aiken or Icon. I'm going with whichever one I feel like at the time.
That's a good. Sorry, yeah, I noticed you were using Icon, the more Japanese pronunciation. I was going with Aiken earlier, just on assumptions. So then you made me realise I don't know. Aiken or Icon was on Monday Night Strike, as I say, but very nice grave pressure there.
Yeah, and of course Valerie is very vulnerable to Graves' Pressure. Because Valerie doesn't have much health. And Valerie doesn't have a reversal.
Oh, I thought Valerie might have made it over that one, but I was wrong.
Well, Valerie does have a reversal if they have super, and if they're willing to spend that super. It's worth spending the super, but it makes it slightly less weighted in the options. That was a strong round.
That was a Valerie ridiculous comeback there. She's so good at doing.
Wait, it looks like we missed the first game actually, doesn't it? I think they didn't know if they were on stream.
Well, it was saying they're playing Fancy Strike, so I didn't dare.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And with the reversal super, we'll take game. And possibly that match.
We better check with them and see what's happening. Yeah, I think so, since they've both, one of them's left, so.
Okay, that was 2 for Mozzarella. That was interesting. It was 2 for Mozzarella, right?
I can't remember. Sorry.
Sorry, Mozzarella was Valerie, so.
I'm now struggling with mild drunkenness and tiredness, I'm afraid to tell you.
Completely understandable. We've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah. And then the week back at work I knew it was going to be rough. It wasn't too bad, really. It was alright.
Okay, so we'll be watching Viper King versus Mr. X. Mr. X has not put up any rule sets, so we've seen 1 rule set this time. That's fine. They're optional for a reason. Except in the particular formats where they're not optional. Which are, for instance, the lawful format, where you have to play with a rule set for at least 1 game and decide ahead of time which game that will be. Or the chaotic one, where the rule sets are actually chosen randomly. You don't get to choose.
Right, well, TPK's saying playing Fancy Strike right now.
So not quite yet. Okay, they know what characters they're playing, so it should be shortly. Of course, Val versus Rook is an interesting matchup that we will be seeing. Val has to adapt heavily. I don't know what to expect from TPK's Rook or Mr. X. So, we're playing Friend Online.
Oh, it's banned spectators.
You watch Mr. X then. I think we're going to have to point out to TPK that that is a thing. And we're in.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, Mr. X is in the first round. But TPK getting a very strong start here. Throwing Mr. X out of the late jump A. But Mr. X getting out of there. Dodging the earthquake. Not dodging that earthquake. 1 wrong guess. That was a wrong guess.
Yeah, I won't usually use Chromatic Orb at all if I'm thinking straight with Valerie against Rook.
Yeah, it beats.
It's too
beats if
easily
they try
beaten
to
by.
hit you. It beats if they try to throw you. It loses if they try to command throw you, or if they try to jump over.
Yeah, there's too many things that Rooks will usually try and do that it loses to, unfortunately.
Yeah, TPK very good at getting in quickly there. And very good at using command grabs to beat the unsafe options Mr. X is. Straight into the Oki loop.
Yeah, looks like
putting
Mr.
around.
X is playing standard Valerie stuff, which, as we know, you have to play quite a different style of game against Rook.
Oh, goes for a neutral jump and lands straight in the landslide. That's knocked down with Earthquake. Throws Rook. Only one damage, but gets a lot of time on your hands. Backing off to avoid command grabs. Not daring to risk misjudging the range, it seems. Getting the throw and getting the air to air.
That was
strong
very
air to
nice.
air, Valerie.
Very nice adaptation there.
Fight. Landslide.
Block to start. Throws.
So many throws! Rookie's getting hurled around the screen right now.
So much fun to see.
And that's where you could use your Chromatic Orb, of course.
Valerie very good at that hammer game that are apparently a thing at carnivals. I don't know if that's just in TV shows or what, but the hammer thing where you hit the thing really hard, it goes up and then it rings a bell. That might just be cartoons. I don't know the names of things, can you tell?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so Mr. X only has to deal 2 more damage. TPK only has to deal 1. That means getting in. And he got in. Chromatic Orb will lose to the command throw most times because it takes 2 hits to beat the command throw. It takes too long to get the second hit in.
Valerie.
So TPK playing Valerie now.
Valerie.
The Mozzarella asking if the throw animations. Yeah, they added in the Rook throw animations for every character quite a long time ago. They weren't in right from the start of, well, certainly not from the start of Steam Early Access.
They were in there when I joined, which was October the 30th.
Yeah, they've been in since it went fully live on Steam, I think.
Yeah, of course there was that old bug that caused, because that meant they had to do a custom throw for Rook for each character, for both forward and back throws, and
Yeah.
the always back throw didn't do damage.
Yeah.
They missed that.
Rook. Unshakable.
We're seeing the opposite matchup.
Well, I know TPK is fairly familiar with this one. I've seen them putting tech on Twitter about how to play this one as Val, so
Yeah, Val absolutely has always had the throw thing. For as long as I've played her, she was my first main. She had that throw. I love throwing Rooks.
and Mr. X saying, you kid you not, oh hang on, have we got the bug?
I think we might.
I think we might, unfortunately.
We haven't been seeing that as much though. Yeah, we've got the bug, because you had the glitched background.
Yeah, okay, let's try go back in then.
Yeah, I do love that detail of Rook being. The only ones who don't have a special throw for him are Rook himself and Dragon.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, TPK going with the jump up and down technique.
Very safe. When I tried playing Rook a minute ago, I had no idea what. Apparently, you're meant to. One thing you can do is forward A.
Yeah, you
Make the
can
land
forward
on
eight the
the-
perfect range to
Round
answer, yeah,
3.
then
Fight.
you can do a jump headbutt, but not like that, unfortunately. Had the right idea, but not quite the right spacing for Mr. X. And then you've got to watch for when she changes. The problem is
Yeah, because
There we go.
what she can do is she can also time it differently and do an entirely different. Oh, the Chromatic Orb will not do any damage, and now Mr. X is nearly in, but is having to block all this stuff and unable to camp.
Round 4. Fight. Landslide.
Because this is what you expect to see from Val in this matchup.
Landslide.
Locking Rook out until Rook can get in, at which point Rook wins. Like so.
Hmm.
Perfectly defensive Rook play there. Got straight in,
Round
got the
5.
throw. One.
Fight.
It's similar to Valerie versus Rook, but to Satsuki versus Rook. But Satsuki is, instead of playing very defensively, has to play very aggressively with air attacks. Whereas Valerie has to play safely.
Yeah. Well, you can go crazy with Val, but it can work.
It's a huge risk, because unlike Satsuki, you don't get all these safe attacks. So you more have to focus on punishes, I think. But yeah.
Too much damage there. Yeah, Mr. X playing that one really well. Could have used the invulnerable frames of your super at times as well, Rook, so it was really critical to use it against Val. I couldn't do it, but...
Blocks the forward air, thus still has a chance.
Nearly, yeah. Good try there.
The super.
You
That was like a centimetre off. Nearly landed. Okay, so that was that last match.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like the winner was Thy Pirate King. Second place, Phoebe, having won 3 matches and lost 2. I'll just say how many they've won. You came third with 2 wins. Amy came fourth with 2 wins. I don't understand Swiss, it's magic and weird. Mozzarella came 5th with 2 wins. Mr. X came 6th with 1 win, and Icon came 7th with no wins. Thank you everyone for participating. We shall now see. In fact, before the skill coin, shall we do events? Say what's happening in the Fantasy Strike community.
I can't, yeah, as I say, I could barely keep up with it right now. What do I know
There is the
about?
events page.
Yeah, go. Oh, that's a good point. Hang on. Oh, you've got a good look at my calendar then. Never mind. This is very hard to do on this keyboard.
Okay, so
This is how you find it.
I've posted in the Twitch chat.
There you go. So
go,
this is now.
yeah, so
Friday. We've got Shinjo's Clash Strike on Friday.
that'll be tomorrow at 2 PM Pacific time, so I think that's a couple of hours before we usually do.
Yeah, that'll be about 8 or 9 PM UK time tomorrow night.
Okay, on Saturday there is, of course, the Pirate King Weekly Tournament. That will be number 35. That is a 3v3 tournament. Oh yeah, the Shinjo's Clash Strike will be 1v1.
Yeah.
TPK's Weekly will be 3v3. Then
Oh.
on Sunday there is Veiled Threat 2, a tournament for people who haven't hit Diamond or won a tournament before. Always, well, the last one was very exciting. I almost said always there's been one. But if you can join, please do. It is awesome. And it's a chance to play a tournament without some of the usual people win consistently.
Yeah, highly recommend anyone who's like who matches these requirements should definitely go and give it a shot, because it's a great practice against other people that aren't you won't get all the usual killers.
Yeah.
And then we've got Blood Mafia Bowl.
That is on next Thursday. That will be
That's it.
after the next Thursday's Garden of Chaos. I think that's around midnight UK time.
It's later than that. It's ridiculous. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay,
These are
maybe I
these are
need to sign
Pacific
up.
times, by the way, so they're like +8.
Yes. Then, in the distant future, there will be a Fantasy Strike at Animevo and Animev Online. I don't know how to say that.
No, no one does.
That will be on the 22nd of August, hosted by the 3 main tournament hosters, Viper King and Safety Man and Leon. So, people from Viper King's Weeklies and Toronto Top Tiers Weeklies.
Mm.
That should be the opposite of this one, the ultimate in professional.
I hope so. And then we also got a European-only event, which I love to see, so we can have good ping times, real matches.
Think it's European only.
Hmm?
I don't think it's European only. I think it's timed for European players.
Well, there is a requirement to have a decent ping to the host, so it's pretty much
cool.
European only.
Okay,
If you're
so-
East Coast America, you might be able to join, depending on how good your internet is. but
Yeah.
it's generally aimed at European players plus people that happen to have a good enough connection that they deem you worthy of joining that event. So yeah, I'll be trying to get into that one. I'm into Anime Evo as well, of course.
Yeah, that would
And
be a-
every week I'll be doing Monday Night Strike, which should reappear on the events page at some point, but it's a bit of a weird one because it's every week and it doesn't change. So I just said, just put it up there every week, please. But yeah, I think he's left it off for this week, but
There's
it's
so
cool.
much to put on there. It must be hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to keep it just to tournament events now. I don't know. We'll see. Or it's obviously
what I
mine's
like
more
is-
of a community thing, so.
Yeah, best way to find out is to ask, I think. But it certainly belongs up there, I feel.
Well, I said please put it up the first one for last week, but that was cool. Andy's Mr. X saying and East Coast boys for the for that event. So good stuff. Thank you very much, Janet, for commentating us and organising all of that as always.
Thank you for commentating as well. We still have things left to do, though. We have to say what next week's tournament will be.
Oh, go on then.
Give out the skill combine. Okay, so let's go into the random tournament style generator. And it dictates partners. So I shall tell you what that is now. It is a tournament where players have to sign up in pairs. And those pairs will proceed through the bracket so that for each match, a random player from each player is chosen to start. And then if someone loses, they switch player and will advise their partner.
Right, okay.
So it's a thing where you have to support each other. The other person as they can.
That sounds
Should be
rather
nice.
interesting. So basically a teams tournament. Duos.
Yeah, and if you want to sign up, just ask someone else to sign up with you. Or if you don't want to do tell me and I'll try to sort that out for you.
Right, so you can sign up anyway, and if enough people sign up without a partner, you can always pair them up. So yeah, unless you get an odd number of players, that'll be the only way you couldn't do that, I guess.
Yeah. If there's an odd number of players, unfortunately, some will have to drop out, or someone else will have to join. Perhaps I would have to join. Oh dear, that would be difficult.
Maybe I can be your ringer, as we were talking about the other day. And if you need an extra player, we could probably handle it. We'll see. I might be free for that one. I don't know. I really need to play some Phantom Strike, but I don't have enough time. It's the sad thing. Never mind.
Time is the worst. Okay, skill point prize. So, list of players. Just going to copy it from challenge. Could have so much bulk out of things that I don't need, but I can just look at them. It's fine. No. Lists and more. List randomizer. I refuse to use the official thing they tell you to use. Okay. And randomize. Emmy gets the skill coin prize, so I'll tell them if.
Emmy is the winner of the skill coin. Very skillfully done.
Indeed, incredibly skillfully done. And that was Garden of Chaos.
Cool. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting it and doing all this management stuff. And yeah,
Right. Okay. I guess I'll just say good night. Thank you very much, everyone,
Yeah.
for joining us, and I'll see you all next time on Monday Night Strike. And no doubt you'll see Janet next week on Garden of Chaos as well.
yeah. Good night.
Bye.